I'm Tylen, the host, and this is Raw Vision, where the questions are real and the people are even realer. Hi, my name is Tylen, the host. Would you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Of course, of course.
Okay, who do we have the pleasure of speaking with today?
All right, well, I'm Ty Hardy, Big Heathen. It's not that bad out here. You might see me on Instagram, TikTok, and then I'm out here just giving motivation to the youth through stories that we all know to help them stay out of trouble, man.
What moment in your life made you realize you wanted to help young people?
Um, that's a tricky question because I grew up with a mother who struggled with substance addiction, and I always tried to help her through her issues. And it came a time when I started working in behavioral health, just working with like people dealing with addiction and people with mental health, and I really started taking to them. I really started seeing what they was going through, and it was like a reflection of what I was doing all my life. And I realized like I just wanted to just change over a leaf. I wanted to stop being a street dude and help these people get off the substances that I know I helped some of them get on.
Do you believe kids are born with a purpose, or do we discover it over time?
Do I think kids are more of a purpose? I think being as though I'm a father, like my kids are my purpose, but I also think that like everybody got something that God gave them. Everybody got something that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of young people get caught up in following what's cool, but everybody got something they good at. And I feel like if you're a young person, if you're a kid, man, whatever you good at now, figure out a way to monetize that. Figure out a way to do what you love, so you don't feel like you're working.
What is something you wish someone taught you when you were 11 years old?
Hmm. I wish somebody would have taught me how to love myself. Because when I was growing up, I always looked outside of myself, friends, different role models that wasn't the greatest. And I just wish somebody would have told me to love myself and invest in myself to learn who I really was because I ain't learned who I was until I was in my 30s.
I understand. Do you think failure is more important than success when someone is growing?
Of course, failure is the building blocks to success. You got to fail at something. You got to fail and try again, fail and try again until you get it right. That's what all the people that I listen to, I've heard in their stories. Failing is just a part of the process, and you mean you can't take failure as a place to stop at. You got to keep going.
What is the most powerful sentence you've ever written or read?
The most powerful thing is I heard this when I was in prison some years back. One of the old guys I was talking to, he told me that you really three people. Every person is really three people, and you got to figure out which one you want to be. It's who people think you are, who you really are, and no, I'm sorry. It's who people think you are, who you think you are, and who you really are. And I had to realize I was living my life as who people thought I was. I was running around the image of who I thought I was, but now that I'm older, I realize who I really am. And it's like it was neither of those other two people. But that's one of the most powerful phrases or sentences I ever heard, and that stuck with me for a long time because I heard that years ago. But everybody is really three different people. You just got to choose which one you want to be.
Can you tell me like how many years ago?
Maybe at least 15 years ago, I heard that.
Wow,
Yeah.
very long time. If a young person wanted to write their own story one day, where should they start?
Start at the beginning. Start at the learning process. When things got hard, that's when the story start. That's always any movie I ever watch. When things got hard, that's when the story got good. That's what I feel like. And being as though I write, being as though I tell stories, I always try to give you the meat and potatoes of the story so you can take away from it what somebody went through to come out the other side a better person.
Do you think the world listens to young people enough?
No, and I think that they got this stigma that young people don't want to listen, but I believe it's just like we got taught not to listen to the old heads, but I feel like the young guys who not in the street, not the guys who too far gone, but the young guys like maybe like yourself, they want the older guys to teach them. They want to learn from them because not everybody lost, and a lot of people don't listen to kids, and they don't like. I'm seeing just from doing the social media thing myself that a lot of people got a basically got a black eye on you guys, and it's like I'm here to try to save the young boys who really want to do good, but they just don't got nobody to give them the right lane and keep it real with them. And I feel like you got to keep it real. You got to meet somebody where they at. You can't tell them you wrong, you got to explain to them what they doing and try to help them through the process.
What was the hardest lesson life ever taught you?
That you can't wait. You got to do what's meant for you now, because the longer you wait, it's like you're wasting your gift. When you get something good, when you figure out what you can do, everything else is a distraction. And if you don't do what you're good at now, it's just going to be like you piling more things on to keep that thing on the back burner.
If you could leave one message for every young person watching this interview right now, what would it be?
Just youngin', don't fall for the trap. Don't believe that the streets is all we got to offer, because there's a lot of life out here to live, and there's a lot of opportunities out here for y'all. This is y'all time. And I want y'all to understand that the streets ain't the end, and it's not that bad out here.
I think the youth needed to hear that. Thank you so much for spending the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you, Tylen, man. Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you for tuning in, Visionaries. I'm your host, Tylen, and this is Raw Vision. Until then, stay inspired and keep building. Peace.
Big Heathen, man. Reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok. If you got stories, man, if you just want to rap, you want to mentor, man, holler at me, man. I'm here for y'all if y'all need me, man. It's not that bad out here.